Hey, what's up everybody? HTG Brian back with some more Funko Fusion. Next up, we've got Nope, Cameo level, fun play. Now, this was one of my most anticipated movies back when it was releasing. I absolutely loved it. If you have not checked it out, this is a great way to do so, especially if you're scared of scary movies. But on this one, it's basically broke down into 3 parts. We're gonna go ahead and walk you through them all. We're also gonna get 50,000 vinyl, which is kind of crucial to smash and grab almost everything along the way, because we have a lot of things that we need to mold, which cost monies as well. But quick reminder, we got quick links down below in the video description. We're also going to get a trophy achievement called Get Lucky, which is not just what's going to happen throughout this level, but also a reference to one of the horses that stars in the movie. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the collectibles. Looks like we got 5 Protoparts to find and a bunch of other things too. Before we get going, I'm going to recommend you smash and grab some vinyl in here because, like I said, there is a lot of need of vinyl in this one. And by the time we get to the end, we've got more than enough, but it's just good to go ahead and grab it as you go. Also, before we go, we're going to switch to our favorite 5-star character, Starbuck, who's going to give us the laser shooting ability and some quick speed. As soon as we exit the spawn, we're going to go ahead and have a quick conversation with M, who tells us the UFO's been capturing their horses, and we got to prove it's real. But before we go and do anything else, let's go ahead and make our way all the way to the end of the horse barn and find our first silver crown, which happens to be in a silver chest down on this lower section of the ground. All right, so kick it open, collect some vinyl, go back and get your silver crown, and now we're going to actually make our way up in and around the horse barn, finding 3 of the 10 cameras. So the first one's going to be out back, kind of hiding in some poo-poo, as we will say. In fact, it was actually kind of a tricky one to find at first because it's sort of, well, disguised. All right, next up, we're going to go inside the building and find that there is one chilling on the rail. Pretty obvious one here. And the third one that happens to be in or around the horse barn is going to be on the other side, stashed away in one of the horse stalls. Once we get all 3 of these, we're actually going to recommend that you go all the way around to the other side again and start what happens to be a 4-lever puzzle. The reason I suggest going this way is because after you start this one here, the direction we're running, which happens to be counterclockwise, is going to show us where all the switches are. If you go the other way, they're kind of tucked around and you have to look a little bit harder. So I found that this way was just a little bit easier. With a 5-star character, you should have no problem. If you're struggling or maybe don't have a 5-star speed character out, make sure that you drink one of those speed colas. All right, after getting all 4 of those switches flipped within the time allotted, it should open up the chest inside the horse arena area. We'll go ahead and collect that and, of course, shoot and grab a bunch of vinyl along the way. Next up, we're actually going to head over to the main house area, but if you're in a hurry, we got quick links down below. Feel free to click on those to find what you need when you need it. Meanwhile, we're going to go over to the house as suggested, and there happens to be a couple of cameras. We're actually going to do a full loop around the house. First one is going to be on the front porch on the sort of right side as you're looking out the front door, or I guess left side if you're looking at the house from the field. We're going to find ourselves a brown chest, and like I said, we're going to grab and collect as much vinyl as possible. The 5th camera is going to be chilling over on the other side of the stairs, so go ahead and grab that before making your way around back and finding the first of 5 red Protoparts. Once we get this bad boy, we're going to actually take it down below, and it's actually going to link us up right with the 2nd red Protopart as well, so we'll be able to get 2 of these done right off the bat. The other 3 are actually going to be in the 3rd section. So talking about the sections, we have this first area where we're supposed to set up the Sky Dancers, or the inflatable flailing wacky wailing inflatable tube bin. I probably said that wrong, but you guys probably get the reference there. And once we do that, we're actually going to have to lure the big alien over to 3 of them. So that's basically the first section. Second section, we're going to have to find our way through the theme park and get 7, even though it's 8 tethers, as we jump up on the roof and grab the 2nd Protopart. Pretty obvious. If you're having troubles getting up here, feel free to mold a bounce pad or a portal from the blue mold machine, which is right inside the little barn here. But we're going to go ahead and make our way over to this fallen tree, and right on the end of it here is going to be camera number 6. Once collected, we're going to jump back up on this barrel, up on the red mold machine one more time to get up on the roof and open up this purple chest, which is going to give us a yellow crystal that we can use to actually fire up 3 of the Sky Dancers throughout the area. Go ahead and solve the puzzle here by swinging these around and allowing the power to flow, or connect the dots, la 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 is what I like to say. We got one going there. We're going to grab this crystal and make our way over to another yellow sky dancer. Now, once we place this in place, we actually have to use some gold brick breakage to go ahead and allow that little train cart to move a little bit further down, and it drops it into place. Use the character swap box right over to the right to find He-Man, which will allow us to break those gold bricks. As soon as we do that, we'll actually swap right back to Starbuck and then make our way down to the end of the train tracks here so we can go ahead and pump it up and get that laser pad up and our second of 7 sky dancers. All right, now back to the third section of the levelage. Basically, once we get through that 10-minute timed period, it's actually going to give us all the time in the world to collect the collectibles, so that'll be the third section. So, yeah, this first one's pretty easy. The second one is a little bit difficult, but if you follow along, it should be no problem. All right, speaking of follow along, make sure you grab that yellow crystal and bring it with us. We're going to jump into this little barricaded area and find the amber fossil, so we can check that off of our list. Grab the crystal once more and take it all the way over and place it next to this portal on the right side pedestal here. That's going to allow us to shoot through, but before we can do that, we actually need to mold ourselves a portal. So let's use this blue mold machine that's conveniently placed out in the field here, and that should give us what we need. Now, this is going to be used quite a bit. I recommend moving it around versus buying new ones because, like I said, the money is a little bit tight on this level. It's very doable, but, you know, it just depends on how much grindage you want to do. Be sure to activate the portal before making your way back to the crystal, and if you placed it in the right place, you should be able to pump it up. Look at that. So we've got 3 of the sky dancers done did. We're actually going to book it all the way over to this open area here, and just beyond the silver chest on the ground is going to be another camera. Happens to be number 7, so make sure you pick that off, and of course grab any vinyl left behind. This is a destroy all baddies chest, so be aware as soon as you activate it, it's going to attack you with that purple goo and spawn a bunch of bad guys too. Go ahead and take out all these guys, and once you're done, it should allow you to open up the chest and collect the crown. Now, the bad guys for you may look a little different. I know that I mention that all the time, but in our scouting runs versus our actual runs, the bad guys are different, so I'm assuming it'll be the same for you. Regardless, take them all out and collect your crown. Next, we're actually going to go and activate another sky dancer. And to do that, we're actually going to need this portal. So we're going to grab the portal and take it over to the red sky dancer. Now, I've kind of color-coded these to help make it easier. I've got quick links down below for each one of these, so if you're struggling to figure it out, we got you covered. Again, just try to line up the portal as close to the central point of that laser pad as possible. Make sure you activate it before you bounce out. Now we're going to book it back over to where that yellow crystal was and remove it, because inside this purple chest is going to be the red triangular crystal. We'll go ahead and slam it down on the same spot here, and if you lined up the portal properly, you should be able to pump up that laser pad, giving us the red sky dancer. All right, now we're going to run over back to where we placed those 2 red protoparts, and inside that little barn area is going to be a mold machine and a charge station. We're going to go ahead and mold ourselves a battery, and then pump it up with the charger right there. And then we're going to take it over to a new area that we haven't really been to yet. It's sort of right there in the back left side of the screen there. Once it's all charged up and ready to go ahead and pop it out, and we'll take it over and slam dunk it into the old battery terminal over here with all the poo. There's a lot of poo inside here, which is kind of good because it actually reveals some more vinyl. So we can collect that. It's only about 75 per, but it does start to add up with all these little stacks, if you know what I'm saying. Stacks of stacks. All right, go ahead and shoot those and continue the power trail here. And eventually, if you did it right, it should power up the blue sky dancer right to our left there. And booyaka show, it is up and running. Don't forget to grab the vinyl before you take off here. Go ahead and use the character swap box to swap back over to He-Man, as we've got some gold debris over here, some gold cacti. Now, you only really need to take out the far left one here, but as it does give you some vinyl, I do recommend taking them all out. Again, it's just a measly 75 or so per cactus, but it all adds up. If you keep stacking it up, you'll have more than enough. As you can see, we're only at 30K right now, and like I said, we need 50K just for the vinyl tube, but we're also going to need a bunch of things to mold once we get inside the park. So back over to the character swap box and swap back on over to a laser wielding character. We're going to go with our favorite Starbuck. And then there should be a blue crystal laying on the ground right at the base or the head of the inflatable flailing tube man. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong again, but you guys get it. We'll go ahead and place the crystal on the far left side and pump it up. Now we're going to take this blue crystal back over to where we used the red and the yellow crystal. And then, of course, we'll need to summon our portal. And I do believe I play a quick game of which way did it go? Which way did it go? And I eventually get this on here and wait for it. Here we go. Like, where's the portal? Where it at? Oh, there it is. It's over by the red one where we left it. So go swoop that up. Again, you could always mold a new one, but this is going to save you cash, as each time you mold the same item that's out on the field, it's going to cost you even more. So line it up as best you can. It looks pretty good right there. Make sure you activate the portal before running back over to the blue crystal pedestal. And we'll go ahead and pump it up, which should be the 7th and final one. So jump for joy and wait for a cutscene to ensue. So the goal of this next section, now that we've got it all set up, is to guide the UFO to any of the 3 sky dancers. And how you do that is you basically wait for our friend OJ to run by on the horse, which I believe is Lucky, and run into the circle as he goes by, and it should change from orange to red. And if you guide him over to the sky dancer, it'll change to green, where you can shoot the oxygen tank and actually cues the UFO to swallow it up. And as you can see, he just slurped up 1, so we've got 1 of 3 done. Now, basically, you just got to intercept the buddy running on the horse. In this case, we're going to be waiting for him for a little bit. It's going to follow him running around, and then we're just going to repeat the process. When he gets close, it's going to go from orange circle to red circle. We guide him over to the sky dancer. It'll change to green circle. When it's green, go ahead and charge up the O2 tank, as you can see. And Booyaka Shao, that is 2 of 3. Now we're going to cut back across and go over to one of these yellow ones, but unfortunately, it doesn't get there in time because it's still swallowing up the second one. So we're going to run back down to the blue ones. Does not matter which of the sky dancers you use. Sometimes you might have to do 2, 3, 4 laps with the buddy on the horse, but in our case, we basically did 1 full lap, maybe a lap and a half. Again, wait for him. It's going to go from orange. We're going to guide it the red circle over to the sky dancer. Once it turns green, shoot the O2 tanks. And if you did it correctly, that should be the 3rd one. You'll watch it swoop up here. And into a cutscene we go. So this next section does have a 10-minute timer, and I want you to not stress out because there is plenty of time to get it done, especially if you watch this in advance and kind of have an idea where everything is. We're going to start off by using the character swap box outside the Jupiter's Claim Park and make our way in with He-Man, as we need to smash some gold blocking our pathway over here into a little storage barn. In this barn is going to be a red crystal as well as a laser pad. Now, luckily for us, there happens to be a character swap box right on the left side of it, so we'll switch over to Starbuck. We'll use his laser to pump up this pad, which now powers up the train, and we can go ahead and grab this crystal and slam dunk it on the back. So what's going to happen now is we got to ride the train around, and we got to ride it all the way over to the red crystal laser pad, which is basically almost a full lap around. It's right where I'm looking right now. Now, the way this works is simply get inside the circle on the ground, and the train will start moving around. Now, is it me, or does he look a little bit like Thomas, the tank engine? Anyways, as we round this final corner right before the red laser pad, we're going to jump off, and you'll see that the circle goes from green to blue. And as soon as we enter it again, it goes to green. So that's just indicating a little bit of movement. Play a little game of tippy-toe there and get it into where you can shoot the pad, pump it up, and then book it over to the gold panning area. The one closest to the wheel there, if you smash that purple mound, it should give you a coin, which we can then take over to the bank and insert into the machine here, which is going to open up the old safe. I don't know if that's a very safe method, but it certainly works for us. And it's going to open the door. I'm going to smash and grab everything while we're waiting. And inside is going to be the tether number 2. So by hitting that laser pad, we release the first one. Now we're working on the second one by pumping up that purple tether point. And don't forget to slam and grab all the vinyl on the way out. Now we're going to go to the mini game, which is just next to the bank. But in order to power it up, we're going to need a battery and a charge station. So run all the way down to the stables here in the green barn and mold yourself a battery. Just to the left of the mold machine, back on the same barn here, is going to be a charge station. While we're waiting for that to charge, feel free to shoot and collect some vinyl right here down the alleyway. And now that it's charged up, we're going to take it down behind the purple building and place it into the battery terminal here. I said in the terminal. There we go. All right, now out front, it should start a little shooting game, and you have to take out roughly the, I think there's like 7 on the bottom and 7 on the top. I could be wrong with the number count, but essentially shoot them all until they stop. It should drop the frog in the upper right corner when you get it all, and then you can go ahead and charge up another tether point, which happens to be number 3. I also would like to point out that it does say 7 tether points in the bottom right now. However, there are 8 if you count along with us. Before moving out of here, we're going to grab that battery, which still should have power. If not, drop it back in the charger. Make your way on the other side of the green barn here and place it in another terminal. The first stack of poo right here is a tall one, and under it, if you shoot it, is going to reveal a fuse. Go ahead and do that, and it should melt the barbecue, which I'm going to turn and look at it here in a second and make sure that it's good. All right, I think so. There we go. So it's melted. The tether point is now gone. So we're going to go ahead and mold ourselves a portal. This is going to allow us to get onto the roof at the far building at the end of the right of the street here. And that's where we're going to go up top and find ourselves another tether point. So again, activate the portal, go up top, smash and grab any vinyl you can along the way. As I mentioned, it's definitely a little bit of a tight fit, but I think we have like 3.5 minutes when we get done with this. So you should have plenty of time to kind of waste a little bit and go ahead and grab vinyl. Go ahead and pump up that tether point, which that completes number 5. Go back down through the portal. We're going to grab this and move it down the street to the next building. Place it right in between these 2 red carts. And now we're going to shoot the purple sign up top that says Fire Company. It's going to reveal a crystal. We haven't seen one of these in a minute, but we're going to pump that up, which activates the portal up top. Once that's yellow, we should be able to connect the portal down low to the portal up top. But, oh no, we need a gold brick breaker. So we're going to have to take off and go to the character swap box and, of course, switch on over to He-Man. Now, it is possible you might have one of those He-Man swords in your arsenal. If you do, you could go ahead and use that, I believe, as well. But we're going to go ahead and do it the easy way just in case, and assuming that not everybody has the sword on hand. And back over to the portal. Up top we go, collecting vinyl along the way. And now we'll go ahead and cha-cha-cha-cha. Revealing yet another tether point, which happens to be number 6. So we're making our way there. I know it still says 7, but we still got 2 left, I promise. So back through the portal, we're actually going to grab the portal and bring it all the way to the end of the street to prevent from having to purchase another one. As you can see, we're still short right now. We got 49,000, so we're pretty close. There's plenty of stuff to smash and grab, a couple of brown boxes as well. Go ahead, go to the right side of M here, and look up to the left on top of the red building. You should see a portal. We'll be back for that in a second. Next, we're going to play a game of Quick Draw. Simply stand on the switch, watch the lights count down from red to green. As soon as it goes green, shoot him in the head. When his hat falls off, pump up the little monkey on top, and that should release tether number 7. All right, next up, we're going to need a laser-wielding character to get rid of the final one, so switch back over to Starbuck or whoever you prefer. And remember that portal we placed? We're going to use that in a minute, but in order to use it, we actually have to turn it on. So use the bounce pad, which is conveniently waiting for you. Get up top and shoot through the red crystal, which should activate the portal up top. Connect the two and turn around as soon as you get through. All right, and I told you there was 8, not 7. Once that's gone, it's going to take us into a cutscene, and all that's left is the collectibles. All right, the crown is officially available, so if you're wanting to just end the level, feel free to do so now, but we're going to go ahead and chase down the remaining collectibles, starting with camera number 8, which happens to be on a table right there at the end of the old red saloon building. We'll go ahead and pop that off, and as I get distracted by this brown chest, I am feeling pretty good now because we've officially surpassed the 50,000. I got lucky and got a blue and red glowing orb, which gave me a bunch more, so I'm sitting pretty now. Hopefully it'll do the same for you. Behind the blue building over here, I believe it's the mail building? Maybe not, but regardless, the blue building in the corner there is going to be the next red Protopart. Now, I started making my way towards the next one, which is a really cheeky one, but what we want to do is dump it into the old red mold machine, giving us the third part of the Infalta Protopart. Now, behind the old gold mining section here, look at how cheeky this is. In a dark little, oh man, it took me a while to find that one, I gotta be honest. But I eventually did. We'll grab that and repeat the process of just simply putting it in the mold machine, which is gonna give us the 4th red Protopart for the Infalta. I think I'm saying that right. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and use the blue mold machine right behind us and mold ourselves a camera. This is actually gonna be used over in the train area because we're not done with that choo-choo quite yet. In fact, we already got the 1 red crystal, but there are 2 blues and 2 yellow pads that need to be pumped up. So take the camera down and drop it on the X marks the spot. If the crime scene doesn't pop up, maybe advance a little closer to the skeleton. It should trigger all the cones. Find the 3 points of interest, and it should reveal the yellow crystal. Now we'll go ahead and take this and slam it on the back of the choo-choo. And first you got to remove the red one, so we'll go ahead and just drop it. Right there, works. Put this one on, and now we got to jump on the train inside the circle to get it to move again. And the first one is right at the first little station point here, so I didn't quite get lucky, but I'm going to go ahead and play a little game of tiptoe again. Get in, get out, get in. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, and then you... never mind. I guess I'm not shouting. But anyways, we'll ride it around, go to the next yellow pad, which is on the back side of the train. We've driven by it at least once already, depending on how lucky you got with that red one. And we'll jump off and roll it right up, get it lined up as best as possible. I thought I went too far. I was a little bummed out, but I got lucky. Go ahead and yeet the yellow crystal off once both of those are completed. And there should be a blue crystal on the ground that was revealed by the train running over some debris, or debris as we like to say, on the tracks. So we'll go ahead and drive it around on this first corner over here. We're going to jump off again and put your little game of hokey pokey again. Nope. Okay, we're almost there. And pump it up. All right, back on the train. One more. And once we complete the second blue, it will unlock the chest that's in the middle section over there. So that'll be the next one. I was trying to point. I was getting all excited. I was trying to choo-choo. I do that often in car games. You know, like often the horn is like the right analog stick clicking down. So that's what those markers were. I was trying to get my choo-choo on. All right, so pumped it up. Now we're going to run into the middle here, and it's ready to go. So go ahead and crack it open and collect Silver Crown number 4. Now, right behind, before you leave, there is a stack of hay, and on the hay is camera number 9. So make sure you shoot that and collect it before moving on out of here. Now we're going to go ahead and make our way back towards the main part of town. But first, let's go ahead and swap characters. Oh man, which way do I go? Which way do I go? We're actually going to need a flamethrower, or you could always mold yourselves a gas canister. However, that's going to cost you a little bit more monies. We're also going to grab this portal and bring it back to save some of that vinylage. And we're got to go back up to that second portal placement, the one where we shot the old sign down and turned on the crystal from up above. So the red barn building at the end on the right. It's the fire company, it looks like. I guess I could have called it by its real name. Activate the portal, go up on through. And once you get up here, you're going to want to do a jump and dive to get from rooftop to rooftop. I almost didn't make it there. Full disclosure, I missed it, and I edited out my mistakes. I was lucky to get that corrected, but it might happen to you. Go ahead and melt the red chain, preventing us from unlocking the silver crown number 5. Once you get it melted, it should open up, and booyakashow. Once the crown is collected, we're going to jump off the building and hopefully do a roll before we hit there so we don't lose any health. And, you know, depending on your money situation here, you might want to run over to the train station and grab the camera. If you've got plenty of extra like we do, go ahead and mold yourself a new CSI Blacklight. We're going to go ahead and solve another crime at the end of the park road here. Right by the old hot dog stand, and there should be a little body outline on the ground. Drop it right in front of it. If the cones don't pop up again, just go ahead and stand on the outline. It should go ahead and make it happen. Solve the crime by finding the 3 points of interest, and when you do, it should reveal a swipe card. Looks like it's a level 2. I'm not sure how they determine which level it is. Once you pick it up, it's actually going to give us a little key indication, and we'll follow that behind the old fire department here. Swipe it like it's hot and activate the old security camera, get inside and find the 2 wheels and spin them around and follow the point to the water releasing. That should put out the fire inside. We'll go ahead and get in there, and once inside, you probably already know, as you can see the red notation there, we've got another Protopart. So we'll go ahead and open up the red chest and grab this and take it all the way down to the end of the street, where we put the last couple, if you probably remember, if you've been following along. If you use quick links, it's all the way at the beginning of the park area. This will actually give us the 5th and final part of the Infalta. I'm not really sure. As somebody who loves the movie and actually just watched it again, I'm not even sure what that is. I'm going to have to do some Googling and figure it out and get learned. But there it is. The Infalta is officially ours. We're going to run over to the character swap box and switch to character that's got a little bit more foot speed. In our case, it's going to be Starbuck again. No surprise there. And now we're going to make our way back down to the hot dog stand that we just ran by. If you haven't noticed already, the KFC bucket is stored right behind it on the ground. It's a pretty tricky spot. Apparently the vendor doesn't like his own hot dog, so he's got a KFC order sitting there for him. But we'll go ahead and check that off and make our way over to the cemetery, which in the back corner next to the church is going to be Foxxo body part. Now, we only have 2 of those left. We're getting really close. Now, hopefully you got enough vinyl. If not, run around and shoot and collect anything that's left. Insert the 50K and collect Silver Crown number 6. So we are getting pretty close to wrapping this one up. This is a little bit of a long one, if I'm being honest. Most of the levels have been about, 15 to 22 minutes. This one's stacking in just under 30. That final camera is going to be chilling on the base of the flooring there, right at the right side of the theater. So right by the front door, basically. Now that we've got all 10 of the cameras, we could run back to the chest, which happens to be indicated with an exclamation point. This should be the final crown for you guys. So go ahead and open it up and collect it before moving on. You don't want to mess that up, huh? I almost did that, to be honest with you. All right, and last but not least, we just have to go and activate the golden crown, which is actually going to ring off a trophy / achievement if you haven't already completed this level, and it'll stack up all of our collectibles and vinyl. So just a little proof here that we got them all done and woo to the hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. We'll go ahead and return to the Funko factory where we only have 2 more levels left. That's pretty exciting. So then we got the character Cameo quest. But we did unlock. We got OJ and we got M, or Emerald, I believe is what her name is. And so we got more characters added to our list. All right, next up is going to be door number 4 of the Battlestar Galactica, but we'll be back for that. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up. If you have not already, please check us out at HappyThumbsGaming.com. We got social media aplenty. If you're into those things, go ahead and follow us on any of the above. And, of course, so we got HTG merchandise as well. If you're looking for some stickers or maybe a hoodie or something fun or just a way to support the channel, that'd be a great way to do it. That's going to do it for me, though, guys. As always, until next time, see ya.